G'day, Pickleball family. First thing to know, the Texas Ranchers' new Austin Pickle Ranch ticks all the right boxes. As shared here on pickleballunion.com, the new spot gives Austin locals a convenient and state-of-the-art facility to join the pickleball train. The Austin Pickle Ranch, a new facility boasting a pickleball court situated atop a parking garage, is set to open its doors to the general public today. The venture represents the latest undertaking by the Texas Ranchers, a prominent pickleball team in Austin, and one of the original founders of Major League Pickleball. Evan Florsch, president and co-owner of the Ranchers, explained, "What we're doing together here on this rooftop is putting more courts in Austin in underutilized space and on a parking garage or rooftop that would otherwise probably not be used most days out of the year, overlooking the skyline with food and beverage. This is something we think is a perfect use of this space." Tim Klitsch, the founder and chief fun officer of the Ranchers, has a background deeply rooted in tennis due to his father's profession as a tennis professional. After realizing he wouldn't make it to the professional tennis circuit, he pursued a career in investment banking. Klitsch spent over 3 decades in this lucrative field before recognizing that much of his life had been dedicated to obligatory pursuits rather than those he genuinely enjoyed. Even tennis, which he played at the Division I level in college, had become more of a grind than a pastime. Introduced to Major League Pickleball by Steve Kuhn, Klitsch envisions this new endeavor as a source of enjoyment not just for himself, but for all who are willing to explore the sport. I think tennis has got a much deeper, steeper and longer learning curve. Pickleball, you can be halfway decent in 30 minutes and you can be having a lot of fun in a couple of hours. Within 3 months, you can be pretty decent if you put your mind to it. Peyton Liegeber, another tennis enthusiast, had only her second encounter with pickleball at the new courts. However, Liegeber is unhesitant about inviting her friends to pick up a paddle for the first time, confident they will grasp the game. With pickleball, you can just kind of fight your way through, she noted. However, Florsch emphasized the difference between casual players and seasoned pros. There's a big gap between where we're at here today and where the pros are at. It takes them thousands of hours to get to that point of where they're at it as pro athletes. The new courts are open to all, including professionals seeking a competitive match. Ben Johns, regarded by Klitsch as one of the finest players in the game, was already utilizing the new facility hours before Liegeber set foot on it. Klitsch's confidence in the Ranchers' growth stems from their aesthetic and alignment with the city's culture, which he believes is an impeccable match. You're a 22-year-old, a pickleball pro. You can live anywhere in the country, but you want to have a good social life, have good dining, and be somewhere fun, cool, and hip. Where better but in Austin, Texas. Second thing to know, also shared on pickleballunion.com, the Dill Dinkers franchise has opened brand new 11-court facility in North Bethesda, Maryland. The popular East Coast-based pickleball venue franchise Dill Dinkers just opened its newest location in North Bethesda, Maryland. Growing with the most popular sport in America, Dill Dinkers have their eyes set on continuing their expansion outside of Maryland, including Washington, D.C. and Texas. Dill Dinkers' new North Bethesda location is located in the Randolph Hills Shopping Center at Boilingbrook Parkway. The venue has 9 regulation-sized courts and 2 skinny singles courts open to the public from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. all week. Our pro pickleball commentator, Jane Holland, was able to attend the grand opening ceremony on Tuesday, get some games in, and enjoyed the venue's other offerings. Beyond the freshly surfaced courts, the facility also has a pro shop with all the pickleball gear you'd ever need, ball machines for getting solo practice sessions in, and 3 large areas for socializing and playing other fun games like ping pong and foosball. The space also features a large private event space accommodating over 70 people for events ranging from birthday parties to team building events. While you don't have to be a member to play at Dill Dinkers, the club's membership program allows dedicated pickleball players a wider array of perks and discounts, which are highly worthwhile if you plan on playing at the facilities frequently. For example, members can book courts 5 days earlier than non-members, have free use of the ball machine, and will get great discounts on both court fees and in the pro shop. While she was there, Jane got the chance to chat with Will and Denise Richards, the co-founders of Dill Dinkers, and got to better understand their passion for pickleball. After picking the game up and falling in love with it, they quickly realised the desperate need for courts in Maryland. They opened their first location last November, gradually started opening more throughout Maryland, and are now opening new franchises throughout the country. Will Richards commented that they've always valued the friendships they've created through the sport of pickleball, and because of that, have naturally made community one of the core values of Dill Dinkers. Players of all skill levels, backgrounds, and are welcome at Dill Dinkers, and they offer a variety of lessons, clinics, and leagues to cater to your needs. Whether you just want to hit the court with friends or need to connect with the coach for some pointers on your game, Dill Dinkers has you covered. Last week, Dill Dinkers sold 25 franchise units outside of Maryland, 5 in Washington, D.C., and 20 in San Antonio, Texas. They hope each new facility will offer that same sense of community as the first Dill Dinkers, bringing pickleball newcomers and veteran players together. It's been an incredible journey, and we couldn't have done it without our amazing community of pickleball enthusiasts. Your love for the game has fueled our growth, and we can't wait to bring the pickleball experience to even more locations across the country. Dill Dinkers on their recent expansion. And if you're finding this helpful and informative, please be sure to dink that like button. Third thing to know, and something near and dear to my Australian pickleball heart, is, as shared on housepickleball.com, the National Pickleball League CEO, Ron Schell, chats on the state of pickleball in Australia ahead of the 2024 Season 1 launch. The National Pickleball League Australia, NPL, and co-founder CEO Ron Schell are preparing for their league's debut season this coming spring, where teams from across the country will compete for $100,000 in Season 1. Incorporating in January 2023, the NPL recently wrapped up their first major event in July on the Gold Coast, dishing out $12,000 in prize money, and have successfully facilitated a pair of 8-week social leagues in South Yarra and Thornbury in Melbourne. Their next event, NPL Championship Sydney, kicks off October 8 at Voyager Tennis. Schell, who recently relocated back to his home country from the United States, witnessed the rapid growth of pickleball during his time in Denver and New York City, and is drawing from that experience with his new NPL venture. It prompted me to look into the landscape here, what was available from leagues and tournaments, what was being done to grow, enhance, and market the sport, and it led to the creation of the National Pickle League early this year, said Schell. While participation numbers in North America continue to skyrocket, Australians haven't yet hit the frenzy of their Canadian and American counterparts. To adapt to this, the NPL will feature select divisions, ages, and skill brackets to match the level of current participation that Schell & Co. thinks suits the space in its current state. We try to keep it somewhere between 5 to 6 different events, as opposed to 20 or 30 if you break it up into too many skill levels and age groups. And that's really to simplify things as we grow and try to attract new players to the sport, explained Schell. Off the courts, Schell has identified the game's social component and is looking to incorporate that aspect into driving awareness and interest into the NPL brand and overall promotion of the sport in Australia. We've launched ourselves as a brand and voice of pickleball in Australia, where you can not only find out where to play from lower levels up to professional levels, but digest news content and also be able to spread the word amongst companies, schools, universities, and really the grassroots aspect of the sports. To support their current and future endeavours, the league has aligned with Treasury Wine Estates wine brand Squealing Pig in a sponsorship agreement. Squealing Pig will champion the title of major sponsor for the NPL over the next 2 years. NPL's second sponsor, Aqualove Water, will be the official water sponsor of the NPL. That's what changed for me in the US, that it was suddenly on social media, said Schell. It was on SportsCenter. People were sharing it. The courts were built to look really nice. So we're really investing heavily in the videography, photography, and content side of things. For Schell, the positive reaction from newcomers to the sport falls in line with what he has seen during his travels abroad and is an encouraging sign for the NPL and its partners as they look to capitalise on the sport's continued momentum. If we can get 1 million people playing the sport in Australia, that's still only 4% of the country, he said. There has been an amazing reception to the sport so far, but let's make no mistake, there's a huge challenge ahead, and it's not only for us. It's for the whole space to invest more time, energy, and marketing to get the sport where it needs to be in Australia for it to be a really viable industry. Things continue to ramp up for the NPL heading into the new year. Following Sydney's championships, the NPL heads to Melbourne, November 17 through 19 for their second event in 5 weeks, followed by the launch of their first dedicated pickleball super site in Melbourne. Learn more about NPL by visiting nplpickleball.com.au and at NPL Pickleball across social to stay updated. Paddles up.